Yes, sir.
Broadcasting from our studio in Ocala, Florida, I'm Brody Barcode.
I'm Ryan James.
And welcome to the Parlor, your hub for independent art and entertainment, as well as a platform to showcase independent artists and entertainers abroad. Now that's gourmet. Hanging out with us tonight in the Parlor is the very talented independent artist, actor, writer, and producer, Mr. Steven Gazinski. Mr. Gazinski, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing quite grand. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem, man. So how's things going so far with 2021 getting up and running for you?
We've had some hiccups along the way, obviously with 2020 closing all the theaters and such, and it kind of really put a damper on us getting our filming going. But we got going again before too long, and we are going to be picking up more of our series that we're going to be talking about tonight next month.
Absolutely.
This month when we post this.
Oh, yeah. And with regards to the series that we're talking about tonight, that would be Wetworks, correct?
Yep, that would be Wetwork, just singular.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Wetwork. Sorry.
No worries. I
research.
Yeah.
Hey, don't feel bad. I had a director who kept saying that, and he did it intentionally to drive me bonkers. So you guys, it's all good. I've had worse.
So, Wetwork. All right,
Got it.
So, what can you share with the crowd with regards to this up and coming series that you're putting together right now?
It is an action drama series. We have elements of other genre stuff in there, but it's mostly an action and drama.
Nice.
It is about a former United States Marine who's also ex-CIA, named Ben Maddox. He is given this assignment to eliminate a blogger who's a conspiracy theorist blogger.
Oh, wow.
He works for a government official, basically being her fixer. He cleans up everybody else's messes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's given this assignment to kill this blogger, and whenever he asks questions, well, why is this person so basically marked for death? He's blocked at every turn. He decides to actually approach this blogger and find out more about her, and eventually he realizes, okay, something smells to him. And he eventually decides to take her under his protection, and they go on the run, and he has to protect her and himself because his bosses try to kill both of them because he asks too many questions. So
okay,
it's pretty intense. We have a bit of it's sort of like action movie, James Bondian, spy espionage, but part road movie because we have them on the road for a little bit.
And what are the locations that you decide to shoot at?
We're mostly based out of Orlando. We've done some shooting in Apopka, Florida. We're looking at a place in Sorrento Springs to pick up more stuff. But mostly the Orlando, Florida area, which has been very helpful. And fortunately, Florida is one of those states that has a little bit of everything, so we can have some fun.
Absolutely.
In those locations.
So on the this season, I mean, basically, are you planning to do like a season 2, season 3, or
we've talked about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It will depend upon if we get picked up by like a streaming platform, which would be really nice.
Absolutely.
It's a question of budget.
Right.
I'd like to do a season 2. I have some written ideas down for what a season 2 would be like, and it would be questioning whether we can get the actors I want to come back for season 2.
Right.
If we tell off a few people in season 1. Spoiler alert. So obviously they're not coming back for season 2, mostly. Right. But if we do a season 2, I'd like to do it. A couple of people I've talked to just casually have been like, yeah, I'd be open to coming back for season 2. So I'd like to do a season 2.
I mean, if you always wanted them to come back, I mean, based off a conspiracy theory. You can always have the zombies aspect of things going on. Or
No,
aliens. I don't have the hair for it, but you know what I mean. Aliens.
yeah, no zombies or aliens for this one, sadly.
Or no, the ones that are not there in season 1, they come back because they are either zombies or aliens.
Ah, okay. Oh, well, actually,
Yeah.
I've thought about doing a flashback, so we could do that instead. I don't know. I'm still working on the
Well, and
ideas. I need to get through season 1 alive first.
yeah.
Right.
And
How strenuous is the shooting schedule?
It's a little tough because we have to get the locations and get the people together at the same time. So we're lucky if, on best case scenario, we get together like for a weekend once a month and just shoot a lot. I think the
Right.
least amount of scenes we shot was like three or four scenes.
Mhm.
But we usually shoot like we tried to combine stuff. Like we would shoot scenes for episodes 3 and 4 at the same time.
Right.
Stuff
Proper
like that.
project management.
Yeah. So we worked pretty long hours, but it's worth it because we get a lot done.
Now, as far as you being a writer, are you pretty much one of the main writers on this show as far as what work goes?
Yeah, for season 1, I co-wrote season 1 with another writer. And if we do a season 2, I'm probably going to write it by myself.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I'm pretty much the overseer of the story itself. And we've changed up some stuff along the way, but not by much.
Yeah.
It's been pretty faithful to the original idea once we solidified it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as this season goes, as you were saying, getting everything wrapped up, how many episodes would we all be looking at as far as for this first season?
6.
6.
6. And where is it going to be able to be seen?
That is also a question I don't have the answer to yet. As I said, I really want to get it on a streaming platform, like say an Amazon or a Netflix or something like that. If we could get it on there, I'd be thrilled because I think we would do very well on that. Actually, it's funny, Amazon doesn't have all that many spy genre series right now. The closest competition we would have is Jack Ryan, and we're plenty different from it, so we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right. Right. What was some of your inspiration to create this world?
Well, originally I was wanting to make this as a movie, and I was thinking about, I was playing with it in my head around 2016. We were looking at I wanted to do like a gangster type film because we hadn't seen a really good one in a while. And do a similar type story where he's protecting the girl, but it just didn't come together. And then I rewatched a movie called Collateral, and then I saw The Accountant with Ben Affleck sometime later, and it just really clicked in my head. I was like, government conspiracies, specialists, and then the story just started basically writing itself, and allowed for a lot of stuff that I would not have been able to do as well with the gangster film element.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, from what I've seen, just of like the short bits and clips there on through YouTube, through your channel there, I'm digging it. I'm liking that genre because like you just said, you don't really see a lot of it, from just kind of just that cool gritty spy espionage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to it once you get everything up and running with it. And actually, quick question here. As far as for where you're at right now, as far as acting, writing, producing, how did it all start for you? Where did it really begin? Where you're like, okay, this is the direction that I feel most comfortable going.
Um, for a little bit, part of it was I wanted to. One of my dreams as an actor was to be the first American to play James Bond. So I was treating this as my James Bond audition. Uh, I originally wanted to have Ben have a British accent, like he would be born in Britain, but he was raised in America.
Yeah.
Um, but it didn't quite work out that way. That was completely. We went with a different tone, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I was trying to put it together. Once we actually got a film script done.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that, okay, this is pretty good. And then my co-writer called me one day and she said, I'm having an issue. And I said, okay, what's the issue? She said, some of the stuff isn't fleshing out as nicely.
Yeah.
Like some stuff felt really, really rushed.
Yeah.
And I mean, with a film, you only have like 2 hours,
Mm-hmm.
2.5 hours. Some you could do with 3, but I wouldn't recommend that because people's attention spans are pretty short.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she said, what if we did this as a series?
Yeah.
And it just clicked in my head. So I sat down with the film script and I started splitting it to what would make a good end of a first episode, a good end to a second episode. And I wanted even numbers because that's an obsession of mine. And I split it into 6 parts and then we just wrote a lot of filler material and we finally got our 6 episodes.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Really cool. We know in the trailer segments that you have shown, or the pitch segments, I guess you could say, that we've seen on YouTube. Notice that they're very, very high energy, and how do you feel working under that type of action camera shots?
Funny enough, I actually enjoy that kind of high octane, high energy type stuff. I'm more if I was directing, I'd be a lot more on, tripods and steady cam, but I'm not directing by personal choice. I wanted to focus more on being Ben. So and the director, Mina Only, and I kind of came together and she said, I kind of want to do a lot more, handheld, a lot more shaky cam and stuff like that. And overall, it actually looks pretty decent, so I'm pretty happy with it. But it's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but that's okay.
And taking risks is always a fun form to work with.
And I've got a question that had come in via internet from Patty, who had asked, what's the inspiration behind this project?
A lot of spy thriller type movies and shows. Also the anti-hero, like we have the Punisher, the 2004 film, and the wonderful Netflix series. I've always liked those anti-heroes, and of course we have that love of that with Deadpool as well, except we're not going to be breaking the fourth wall in this, sadly. It wouldn't work. So that kind of thing, I've always had that interest in the dark, gritty heroes. I mean, my favorite superhero of all time is Batman, so that kind of really tickled my fancy as far as that goes. And this genre allows for it. He's not perfect. He's going to make mistakes, and he does some stuff that's a little questionable, but he's not. You can tell he's not a bad person. He's just trying to figure stuff out. Actually, one interesting thing about him, he has a disability, because earlier, before the series takes place, he got shot in the head. So he has certain amount of brain damage. He's not like, I don't know what the PC term would be, like mentally retarded or anything. He's very intelligent, but he's not able to process things the same way that everybody else around him is. So that that was also something that really interested me
That's
about
fucking
that
cool.
character, because I wanted to make him different enough that he's not like, oh, you're just cold-blooded, sociopath.
Right. Something else that we started doing for this interview, and we plan on doing for more, is on Facebook. We put out a call for questions, and we had a question from Amanda Joy Lamar.
And she asked, what are some of your long-term goals, and how much are you enjoying your filming sessions as of now?
Well, as far as the long-term goals, we want to get it on some kind of streaming platform and eventually get picked up, hopefully by some kind of investor or investors to kind of move our project forward. Right now, we actually have a GoFundMe campaign. We've had some very generous people, so if you guys could find, if there is actually hopefully going to be a link for you guys to follow. Every little bit helps. We're pretty low budget considering. We've actually been going under our I wrote up the budget, and we're actually going under budget, but we need just a tad more to get over the last hurdle of filming and also post-production expenses, which is
Oh yeah.
But the long-term goal is to actually do a few seasons of this. I would love to. I could write out at least 3 more seasons on my own. But if a network came to me and said, hey, we want a season 5 and 6, then they could pay me money and maybe I'll write it.
Right.
That's really cool.
But as far as the other question there, enjoying filming sessions, 99% of the time I have a blast. There are times I get really stressed out, but that's what happens on a film set. But I get gloriously tired after filming. So there you go.
Understandably so. It's not an easy job by any means.
And coming off of that question, as far as for anybody up and coming, working to get right where you're at, as far as, doing something as such that you're doing, any advice that you would give?
Don't be so invested in your equipment. What I mean by that is you don't have to run around with a Red Scarlet camera. Get some good sound equipment though, because actually we're having to do ADR. That's one of the things that's slowing us down in premiering this, because we shot a scene. It was outdoors and had this terrible wind, so it's picking up on the audio, and it's such a pain in the tush to get around. But get some decent sound equipment. You can get a decent video camera. I've had a Canon T3. That's what we shoot this on. Yep. I've had it for good gravy, like 7 years now. And I've shot a lot of stuff on that camera. So worry about that kind of equipment, but don't break the bank on it, and surround yourself with good people. And you don't have to get the prettiest or the best, you're not going to have people rolling around with awards. I don't have any, and I'm okay with that. Now, would I say no if I got nominated? No, I wouldn't say no, but get good people. And one of the things also, when you get to a certain point, give others opportunities. That's one thing I've been very blessed to do. In Wet Work, we've had a lot of first-time actors. One of our guest actors in the first couple episodes, she had never done an English speaking project until she worked on Wet Work, and she was fantastic.
Wow, that's really cool.
And a lot of other young actors, he was in for a scene. He goes, I kept auditioning like Full Sail and such, and no one would cast me. And I'm like, guess what? You're working for me now. You're going to do a scene. And he actually did a really nice job. I was very happy with how his performance came out. So give others chances.
That's really cool.
That is very cool. Well, Steven, I greatly appreciate you taking some time out to hang out with us in the parlor this evening. Man, I'm wishing you the very best.
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely looking forward to checking this out once everything gets off the ground.
Yeah, keep us up to date on when you get things released, or if you need an opinion or whatnot, we'd be happy to help you out.
Yeah, we're hoping to do like a premiere with a lot of our inner group, like our producers and a lot of our investors and such.
Mhm.
So that would we're hoping to do like a little premiere once we get more post production done. We're actually almost done with the first episode. The post is coming along very nicely, but it just takes time.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
But thank you very much again. And as I said, keep us up to date. We'd be happy to check it out, see what we can do, or help promote you out there.
Yeah.
Appreciate
In the
it.
meantime,
And I was just gonna say too, I mean, any links, they'll be right there in the description box.
Yep.
For this, for this video. So that way-
okay. In the
I
meantime,
had to interject.
please subscribe if you like what you're seeing. The subscribe is not here, like I've said in every other one. I can never get this right. It's way over here, more in Steven's screen. But anyway, it's down there. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. This way you know that when we post something new. Also, all of our interviews will be in podcast form on our website. It can also be found on Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, Google, Spotify, Google Podcasts, so many different places. So check us out there too. Every little bit helps on getting independent artists out there. So thank you very much. Have a good night.
Have a happy one.